the last question that I have for you, because we're coming up on time, and I also appreciate that this question might be too big, so I'm going to see if we can challenge ourselves to be concise with this. But whilst we have been talking within the context of workplaces and businesses, there's a lot of what we're discussing that feels to me quite relevant just in terms of our community as well, as genuine interpersonal relationships, this idea of psychological safety in our discussion. And I wonder if there is a difference between trust and psychological safety at a community level. Like, does it need to be different between work and community? I appreciate that can be quite big, but I'd love to get a quick, hot take from you on that.
Well, I think it goes back to this thing that we were talking about. Is everybody going to be involved? Do they care? Does everybody care about the psychological safety of their community? You know what I mean? So if everybody doesn't care, then it's harder to have those stages in place or have any kind of a process in place. Who drives it? Who's the leader of it? You know what I mean? It almost feels like it would also have to be some type of a program in place with some very key elements that somebody was the driver of.
Well, but then within a community setting at an interpersonal level, and I think this brings us all the way right back to chicken and egg, is that let's say there is no organization, and it is me being as responsible as I can possibly be as an individual in a network of friends and colleagues and whatnot. In some ways, it is on me as an individual to try and create psychological safety for other people too.
Of course, yeah.
And then I have to trust other people in order to say, look, I'm going to create this, and I trust that you're reciprocating kind, and thus we can build our own bridges of psychological safety.
So I think you just answered our question. I think it's trust. It has to be each individual one of us trusting, and then learning from our mistakes so that we can trust further.
Yes. There's an abstract philosophical concept that's coming to me here, which is to do with the prisoner's dilemma, which I won't go into too much detail because that's something that people can Google. But the fundamental idea is that when people cooperate, they can get the most out of it, right? But if people attack each other, then nobody wins, right? It's a lose-lose situation. But when like all these computer modelers and data modelers that run the model, the most ideal tit for tat type of a situation with the prisoner's dilemma scenario is that people do forgive, and we assume as a spaceline that we can trust each other. If our trust is abused, then yes, we do have to kind of draw boundaries, but it don't leave the boundary there. We have to also have the ability to come back and say, I'm willing to trust again. And that does take a bit of effort and courage as well within us.
Absolutely. I would like to think that, 98% of us just continue to trust again, even after we've been burned sometimes. And then there's just some people who have just been hurt so much that they're just injured in a way that they need probably some therapy or something to move them forward. But I think that, I've said a million times, I can't believe I just did that again. I can't believe I just trusted that person or something like that. So, and you know what, here's the other thing. I don't beat myself up about things that have happened. I try to learn from them. So if I have trusted someone and they haven't turned out to be exactly who I thought, rather than resenting it, rather than not going out and trusting the next person, I try to take a step back and analyze why. First of all, like if it's a relationship, why I got into that relationship, what drew me to that person, what were the red flags that I could have paid attention to that I didn't, and then the next time I can apply some of that stuff when I meet the person.